Hello, my name is Dev Getchis, and I'm Executive Director of Housing Land Trust of Sonoma County. Today, you will meet three of our families who have participated in our program at different intervals. The first family are Mike and Juliet James. They have two beautiful daughters, and Juliet is an elementary school teacher, and Mike is an appraiser. Mike and Juliet bought their house in December 2007, so they are one of our original families. The next family that you will meet are Adam and Chris Camacho. Adam and Chris have two kids, and Chris is an AP science teacher at the local high school. Adam works in technology. Adam and Chris were able to buy a home when one became available, as the original owner had graduated, as we say, into being able to afford a market rate home. That was a happy story of passing the same home from one homeowner to the next and keeping it affordable as we went. The third family you will meet are the Wandams. Amelie Work and Fakadu have three beautiful daughters, two of whom are in college and the third who is in elementary school. Amelie works with a local nonprofit working with clients, and Fakadu is a client technician for an account technician with a GPS company. They were able to purchase their home because one of our original homeowners decided to downsize after raising her two daughters, and thus was able to move into a market rate home situation, allowing this home to be available and affordable to this family of five that used to live across the street at the apartments and take their evening walks here in this neighborhood, dreaming that someday they would have a place to call their own. Welcome to Housing Land Trust of Sonoma County, and thank you very much for your interest in our program.
We had been looking, we were renting a home, but we definitely wanted to purchase a home in the community that we live. That was just a goal that we always had for ourselves and for our family. We knew that the market was just in a place that we weren't at at the time, and so we imagined that it would be 5 to 10 years before we would really be able to do that, to purchase a home here. And it was disappointing because we knew our kids would be pretty much grown by the time we'd be able to afford a home for our family. So I was going into homes that were $100,000 over our budget and had black mold, and we were just thinking that we were going to have to go back home to Ohio where we could afford to live and work and have a home that we thought we wanted for our family. It was during the time when the banks were giving everybody and anybody a loan. And so, I literally just called and I said, we're interested in a mortgage. And the guy was like, what are your incomes? And I told him, and he's like, oh yeah, you can have this much. And I'm like, this guy doesn't know me from anybody. I just literally called him on the phone and he's given me a loan.
I said, I'm not comfortable buying a house on a job I haven't even had for 3 months yet.
Yeah.
Like, this guy wants to give us money.
I felt like you guys were actually looking long term rather than just, selling used cars or something, to get it off the lot and see how it goes.
It was a time and place where our family was expanding. We had one small child. We had another one on the way. We were in a very small apartment.
We used to walk and sometimes take the kids to play at the park. Mm-hmm. And we were talking, where do you think we can? God was asking, we may get this house one day. And I said, no, don't dream even, dream even. I don't want to see those houses. Right. We can't afford that because we love the area, but it was impossible for us even to think that we can live there.
At that time, we were not looking just because of where the market was. It fell out of our grasp.
And we have been living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 kids, and it was so crowded. It was very hard to live and to work and to care for children.
With the help that you guys provided, it was simple. It was simple and it was quick. It wasn't just us looking at stuff, and it wasn't just a bank, but you were definitely right beside us through the whole thing. Looking at the same numbers, making sure that we're not just getting the quick, here's how to get in a house as quick as possible. It was looking at here's the fixed 30-year that we want you to be in. This is what's stable. This is what you can do. You're looking at the income and really looking at the numbers with us. You guys don't just take anybody. There's, you look at a lot of different factors to
make sure
qualify
it's gonna be a good
someone.
fit.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't believe that it was that it happened so quickly.
With what was proposed with the Housing Land Trust homes, and then as you're talking about getting into the budgeting, it was very helpful. It was, it was finally seeing it all graphed out, pie charts or what have you. I mean, it was kind of eye-opening and empowering. It's like, we can do this. Like this, there's a roadmap here to show us how we can actually own a home.
The Housing Land Trust gave us a very realistic opportunity and also a very realistic path for us to go on.
It made it obtainable for us. It was a very exciting thing for us, and it changed our lives.
So by the time we met the land trust, I said, now, even I don't have to think too much because the system is already there for this kind of community, for this kind of people like us. So they have established a system, so just try to meet the requirement we have. And one of the challenge I had was regarding finding Lydia's loan. She already started school, and I was not sure what kind of document to present to show that we have a loan from the Department of Education for Lydia. So you helped me how to track her fund from the education, I forgot that, from that website. That was the last challenge I had. Otherwise, everything was so smooth.
Spring and summer days, we wake up in the morning, you can hear kids out on the, playing, and it was a much more inviting neighborhood where the kids can just go out and play. There's the park right down the road, and it definitely feels safe, but it's much better with the kids being friends, and they actually made friends in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think Lawrence has a best friend down the street now, and I feel like for them it was sort of just a change in the feeling of being able to just go out and run down to the playground and walk the dog, and I didn't have to think about it as much, whether that was going to be a safe thing for them to do. So I feel like they definitely internalized that feeling of safety or comfort with their community in the neighborhood.
The stability that it's created for us is invaluable. It opens up so many other opportunities to not have to worry about, is someone going to raise my rent? Are they going to sell the property and I have to move? Or the massive life-altering question of where am I living is answered.
I really like our neighborhood, and it's probably the awesomest neighborhood I have ever seen in my whole entire life.
I think that sums it up.
I do like the model. I'm actually really impressed with the way it's set up to provide for people in the local community, to live in the local community. And so the fact that we were able to buy into it and own the house outright, it's ours, and not have to worry about the land and receive that and then be able to pay that forward as we move on, I think that's a great opportunity.
I wish more people had access to what we've had access to. I like the fact that the home I've purchased will someday, if we choose to move, benefit another family in a similar way that we were benefited. I love the idea that the land is meant for someone who's in the community, working with people in the community, trying to make a positive impact in the place where they live.
Whatever we got, we pay our bills, and we try to pay some for their school, and we are just living for them. And sometimes I say, God, This is the only resource we have in this earth, so they will live a better life and contribute to their communities. And Lydia and Pavan, they are saying, Mommy, when we grow, we have to pay back. That's their dream. But there must be big people behind this program who design this program for the people like us. Otherwise, how can we live with this peaceful and comfortable, happy and nice environment? So I'm always thankful to the people who brought this idea in this world.
To focus on where we should be focusing on our children, our family, our community, and then also being able to give back. You know, suddenly a lot was given to us, and then we're able to now in turn give back to the community or give to our own children. We're not in the game of buying and selling, we're in the game of buying and living.